Take a listen at the Malian Prime Minister Choguel Kokalla Maiga vow that the Malian military may lose the battle, like how they lost in Tinzaouaten on July 27, 2024, but will ultimately win the war on terrorism despite the foreign support that terrorists are getting, as he sends a passionate message to Malian armed forces and Wagner soldiers following that sandstorm ambush that left dozens of Wagner fighters and some Malian soldiers dead. This is a message that he delivered on the Wednesday of July 31, 2024 as he presided over the Pan-African Women's Day, or rather Africa's Women's Day, that is observed annually across the African continent on July 31 to recognize and affirm the role of women's crucial participation in achieving the political freedom of Africa.
Mesdames et messieurs,
Ladies and gentlemen, current events require me to tell you about the campaigns of aggression, disinformation and intoxication against our country,
d'agression, de désinformation et d'intoxication contre notre pays. Les pays de l'AES
and the countries of the AES since we decided to take our destiny in our hands.
Le 16 juillet dernier,
On July 16,
j'ai passé
I went to the opening of the General Assembly of the Mali notary profession.
de notre Mali. J'ai tenu un discours pour expliquer
I gave a speech to explain to the whole world that the AES is not a figment of the imagination,
de l'esprit. Les présidents ne se sont pas levés
that the presidents did not just wake up, then took their planes, went to Niamey, sat down and signed an agreement.
comme ça.
That it was not like that, but rather it was the result of maturation.
Est-ce que vous savez que cette vidéo-là,
Do you know that I watched this video 2 days later, and there were 270,000 views worldwide?
ça veut dire qu'il y a un besoin
That means there is a need for explanations and understanding. Because we have poisoned the people, that oh yes, the soldiers have come together to set up a confederation.
Ça, c'est la campagne.
This is the campaign in the world.
L'autre jour, il y a un ami qui
The other
m'envoie
one,
la même
there
vidéo.
is a friend who sent me the same video from a European country, where there is an advisor to the president after seeing this video, came to tell him that, I did not know that it was like that, everything we were told was not true. I said, but it's because you are misleading people.
Donc notre rôle,
So our role is to raise awareness among the population so that people understand what is happening in our countries.
ce qui se passe dans nos pays. C'est l'exemple même que je dis.
This is the very example that I was saying, that when a soldier shoots, he shoots one or two people. But when you speak to explain something, it is thousands of people that you reach at the same time.
C'est là,
I said this so that everyone understands that at these precise moments, we must commit ourselves against the intoxication against our defense and security forces,
nos forces de défense et de sécurité. Savamment
expertly orchestrated by those who we know take turns around the world.
Nous devrions à chaque instant
We have to remain vigilant at all times and continue to deconstruct the narrative that consists of saying that we are not capable of taking care of ourselves.
En tous les cas,
In any case,
en ce qui me concerne,
as far as I am concerned, you will have noticed it for months. I do not miss any opportunity to recall the importance of knowing our history to build our future.
notre histoire, pour construire notre futur. Cela passe
This requires above all mental deconstruction and decolonization of minds everywhere.
et la décolonisation des esprits. Partout où je passe,
I think I recall the crucial role of our defense and security forces,
défense et de sécurité, de nos faillants,
of our valiant soldiers who night and day under the burning sun, in the rain, in the freezing cold in the north, without rest, far from their families, fight at the cost of their lives so that we can come together like this afternoon.
se battent au prix de leur vie pour que nous puissions nous réunir comme cet après-midi. Et c'est pourquoi
And that is why I ask you and beyond that all Malians to join me in praying for the transitional authorities and saluting the bravery of our defense and security forces who have restored to our people their honor, their dignity, and their sovereignty.
de nos forces de défense et de sécurité, qui ont restitué à notre peuple son honneur, sa dignité, sa souveraineté. Notre pays, mesdames et messieurs,
Our country, ladies and gentlemen, has today regained its dignity.
tous les Africains sont en train de nous regarder.
All Africans are watching us.
Les Noirs partout
All
où ils
blacks,
sont.
wherever they are, even in faraway countries, are watching and hoping that Mali succeeds.
Même au moment où nous
Even as we gather here, our soldiers are fighting against outlaws, often at the cost of their lives.
souvent au prix de leur vie.
That is why I call them monettes. Some think it is to flatter, but that is not flattery. There are monettes. Yes, there are monettes. Ladies and gentlemen, our prayers to all those who fell on the field of honor. As I often say, we will never forget them. We will make sure that their descendants are proud of them. In a few years, in 10 years, in 20 years, in 1,000 years, their children and grandchildren will come to say one day on dedicated places that I am proud of my great-grandfather. I am proud of my grandfather, of my father, because he gave his life so that I can come today to meditate proudly. In everything we do, ladies and gentlemen, let us think of them. They need our support in every place at all times. They need to know that we are behind them in a sacred union. I have always said this message to the farmer. I said it when we took the city of Timbuktu, which is such a big city that we took, and it was not easy. Because Mali's adversaries told everyone that the Malian leaders are bragging, that they will not be able to drive out the foreign forces. They put all their forces into it. Indeed, there were several assaults, but our soldiers heard a message. We told them that we will never lose the war against terrorism. We can lose battles, and that is what often happens. The military will lose battles, but they will win the war. We will win it because our fight is right historically and politically. We will win. In Tinzaouaten, it is called a battle. But we will win the fight. We'll be Malian. All Mali will be Malian state. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to send this message to our soldiers. Be proud, those who will fall, you will not die for nothing. You will die for your people. Others will die in hospitals here, we do not even know who they are. But you will be remembered one day. Those who will have left, you will have given your blood so that we are worthy, so that we can speak. We are in this room today, but at Tinzaouaten we cannot make a room like this, or hold meetings. It is because some are sacrificing themselves there. They have the right to all the honors and the necessary support, the support of their grandmother, of their mother, of their wives, of their children, and of all Malians. We will win this battle, inshallah. We will win it. The entire Kidal region, the entire Republic of Mali will return to the fold of the Malian state. Inshallah. The Malian army will win, since their fight is just. The few propaganda images that we see are intended to demoralize us. They will not succeed. They do not know the Malians. We have lost thousands of men. That has not stopped us from moving forward. And we will continue to move forward. As I said, this fight, we will win it back. I would also like to greet our friends. You know, we say it's in hardship that we truly know our friends, and I add that friends are like stars. We see them in the darkness. When everything is dark, that's when you see the stars. Friends are like that. Those who are with us today must know that they are with a people who will never forget them. We are not an ungrateful people. Those who shed their blood today for Mali, their people, their government, their leaders must know they died for a great people. They died to seal our friendship forever. That we need to get out of this situation of vassalization in which some wanted to keep us. And we are aware that it is with the support of our friends that we will succeed in this battle which is uncertain. That is why I say that we will never forget them. They do not have to be discouraged. This battle is in our hands to win it. We are going to take all of Mali, inshallah. The other message is to the political class. I saw on networks people who called rejoicing at certain macabre images that they saw. Be careful. We are all being manipulated. We have made ourselves clear, do not let yourselves be manipulated. They want to keep you in slavery. I have seen communiques from certain parties, they have it signed by a person they do not even know. It seems that the great leaders who are known will first have their signatures on the declarations. The army goes above declarations and rulers, whoever comes. The army goes above the governments, whoever comes to power will need a strong army. And sir, my message to the political class is, be united in a sacred union of our army. The recovery of Tinzaouaten is not a story of Assimi Goita or Choguel Maiga or the government, or of Sadio Kamara. It is a Mali affair. If it is recovered, if Mali is recovered today, in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years, it is other men who will be there, and they will take care of development. Because the danger will have been pacified and unified. I would then like to say to those who support the terrorists to be very careful. We have great lessons that we have learned from history. Leaders pass, the people will be there. No terrorist movement can flourish, arm itself, equip itself to attack, or acquire weapons if it does not have a rear base. Those who serve as a rear base for terrorists, let them be careful, let them meditate on the lessons of history. It is true, often between states there is no recognition, but the Malian people are a blessed people. All the leaders of all the countries who engage in plots to destabilize Mali, they will pay for it. We have seen leaders here who wanted to make Mali their political business to gain power. I will not name them. Where are they today? Missing. There are leaders who make combinations. I know that their people are not in it. They are leaders, the people are not in these combinations. Be careful, leave us alone. Whoever does not leave us alone, God will punish him. I am convinced of that, and besides, these last 30 years show it, about all those who got involved in the war in Mali, even when they claimed to be friends, they paid for it, and those who are in this game are also going to pay for it, inshallah. Because they are waging a bad war, and some are committing historical and political ingratitude. The terrorists who come to destroy Mali must not have certain countries as a fallback point, because these movements cannot prosper if there is no fallback country. So be careful and leave us in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, the transitional president often reminds us that the people are the center of gravity of our governance. Let us ensure that each of us at our level of responsibility can have as our credo the people as the center of gravity. We must be exclusively at the service of the people. When the leaders pass, as I said earlier, the people remain. And as I have often said in a country, if you want the country to be stable, there are 3 benchmarks. You have God who is for everyone. You have the people
et les lois.
and the laws, and when the laws are not good, we change
Ne
them.
travaillons pas en dehors des lois.
Let's not work outside the
Tous les
laws.
régimes où
All the
les gens se
regimes
sont mis
where
à
people
travailler en
started
dehors
to
des
work
lois,
outside the laws, they have had a short lifespan.
et nous avons décidé dans la transition.
And we decided in the transition to do everything in accordance with the law. That is why I am sure that as the government of rectification, the transitional authorities will succeed in their mission. It is a sacred mission, a historic mission, and will succeed by responding to the call of the people. Everything we do must be done through the laws. Humans, ladies and gentlemen, always have an agenda, but God has his agenda which often coincides with that of humans. But when it does not coincide, it is always God's agenda that prevails. In a country that I do not want to name, people believe themselves to be so powerful that all the combinations in the world have been made. Even lawyers have been put in prison. The laws have been violated with the support of certain foreign powers. We have never heard of ECOWAS, but God imposed his agenda. The next day we witnessed a flight without honor. The great lesson for all those who are against us is to hold back. Our people are today in accordance with God's agenda. It is God who wanted this team to arrive at the head of the country. It is God who wanted us to remove these wooden yokes, to emancipate ourselves, to recover our land, to support our army and its leaders for the dignity of the Malian people. The function of a government is to facilitate, accompany and create the conditions for the emergence of excellence. This is what the transitional government is doing under the leadership of what some people say enlightenment. But that is far from the old leadership system. It is largely sufficient because it is the result that we judge. What is enlightened there is that there are many who have gone through the bush. Ours is an administration that does its job and things are clear for everyone. Under the leadership of the President of the Transition, Colonel Assimi Goïta. Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, I would like to reiterate the gratitude of the government to the ministerial delegations from Burkina Faso and Niger, in other words from the countries of the AES. It was simpler. Moreover, from now on, we will no longer cite countries, we will only say the countries of the AES, and our sister Republic of Guinea, for participating in the ceremony alongside their sisters from Mali. Thank you to all the international partners, for the different supports that were accorded to our ministry for the success of this ceremony. On this, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to solemnly declare officially open the ceremony of the Pan-African Women's Day. Thank you very much. I would like to greet you.